There are plenty of reasons to beat your kids, but don't let mealtime be one of them. Today, we're going to talk about food aversion. But before we get started, a matter of business. Like, share, and subscribe. SOP professional mode activated. A food aversion is when a child has difficulty eating something or refuses to eat something based off the taste, smell, texture, temperature. And I'm back. I know mealtime can be rough. Even more so when your child has an allergy or a food sensitivity. So let me make your life a little bit easier. Save your energy. You're not going to beat them today. Well, at least not for mealtime. I'm going to give you 4 tips that hopefully change the trajectory of your life. I just wanted to use the word trajectory, but you know what I'm saying. I'm hoping that this makes mealtime easier for you. All right, here we go. Tip number 1, don't mix textures. Now, I know that the majority of the food that we eat, the textures are mixed, right? Like you can't really find too many things that have one texture. I know that's what you're thinking, but we're gonna have to try. So, for example, vegetable soup. No thanks. We got a little bit of liquid, a little bit of mushy vegetables. I don't really know too many kids who like vegetable soup to start with. No vegetable soup, right? Not for right now. We'll work our way into it. No oodles and noodles, like that kind of stuff. What is it? Chef Boyardee, like as kids, we like the little raviolis and stuff. Nah, none of that right now. That's 2 different textures right there. There's an example, right? Oatmeal and, raisins and nuts. Most kids don't even like oatmeal in the first place. But you get what I'm saying. Like, no 2 textures. Like, just don't do it. Like, let's just stick to single texture things. Like chicken nuggets. Dang it. Chicken nuggets technically have 2 textures if you want to be... All right, we're not even going there. All right, chicken nuggets. We're just going to say crunchy, right? Okay, crunchy. That is the one texture. We're not looking at the mushy meat and none of that. Just crunchy. Carrots, right? Crunchy. If you cook them, soft. Apples, crispy, crunchy. Fruit snacks, chewy, right? Those are some textures. Okay, so that takes me to my next point. Here we go. Tip number 2, pick your textures, right? So we're gonna break these things up into textures as much as possible. It doesn't have to be scientific. We got soft, we got mushy, we got hard and crunchy, we got chewy. All right, let's just make it simple. Those 4 textures. Soft, mushy, hard and crunchy, and chewy. All right, let's just say all kids' foods break down into these categories. No, don't ask any questions. All foods break down into these 4 categories, okay? Keep in mind, if your kid has an allergy, you can pretty much turn these different things into these different textures. So don't give your kids something they're not supposed to eat. Don't get frustrated if you can't think of, too many things your kids can eat with these different textures. We're gonna get creative, right? So like I said, that carrot before, crunchy, right? You cook it, soft. You blend it up, mushy. We got 3 right there. I don't know if it can be chewy, we're not going there. But dried fruit, right? So if they like mango, we got soft mango. We got, if you get the freeze-dried one from Target, we got crunchy mango, right? When you dry it, chewy mango. 3 out of the 4, right? Blend it up, smoothie. If you need some suggestions, send me a question down at the bottom and I will do my best to be creative, right? So boom, step number 2's down. We got our 4 textures. We're thinking of the foods our kids can eat and what textures they are. Step number 3. Write it down. Write everything down. It's not a journal, but get yourself a nice little notebook, or you could be fancy and go to Target, get you a pretty little notebook with a nice little saying on it, like, you can do it, whatever you want. Get you a notebook and a pen. Every mealtime, you're gonna have to document it. Like, what did you give them to eat? You gave little Johnny this and this. I would say stick with 2. And then you're gonna write down when you fed them and what their reaction was. You're not a bad parent if they throw their food across the floor and scream and get it all over their bodies. And I'm pretty sure it's not something you really want to remember, but write it down. If you couldn't feed them till 9 p.m., still, grade A parent, you're good. But write it down, okay?
Write it down.
What did I say? write it down, everything, okay? So once you got that set, you can also use that to take to the doctor. And then the doctor can tell you why he's constipated or he keeps pooping every day, right? All over the place. But whatever, write it down. It's gonna be easier for you when you decide the things they like and don't like. And then it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna get you going. It's gonna be exciting because then you'll start to see that your kids are eating more things, right? Okay, yeah, that's the plan. Write it down. You can also help your doctor, like when you figure out what allergies your kid has, like, oh, well, you know, he ate oranges and, you know, God forbid his mouth got swollen. You know, they'll be able to help you with that. I'm not a doctor, so back to the video. Step number 4, and the last one is, once you know what the textures are, feed them 2 textures a meal, right? So we're picking 2 out of those 4, if you remember. Soft, mushy, hard and crunchy, chewy. I almost forgot the last one. You're taking 2 of those textures and you're feeding them in these meals. Like I said, we're getting creative, whatever we have to do. I would advise that one of them is what the kid likes, the texture that your child likes, and the other one is the one that your child doesn't like, right? Because we're gonna find a little peace treaty here. We're gonna compromise whether they like it or not, right? So of course, I'm pretty sure you already know this, we're not gonna give them what they wanna eat first, right? We're gonna give them, right, ding, 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 what they don't care for, what they don't like. We're gonna give that to them first and, you know, tell them, hey, give me 1 bite of this, you get that chicken nugget, Johnny. 1 bite of applesauce because you don't like that mushy stuff, and you get a chicken nugget. And I'm gonna let you know now, it's not gonna be pretty for the first couple times. It's gonna take time, but be patient. Like I said, put that belt away. Don't whip it out just yet. Give them a second, right? Try it out. You know, eventually hunger is gonna creep in, and you know, nobody likes to be in pain. So they'll eventually want to take a bite so that they can get what they want, right? Kids can be very stubborn, I know this. But once we create these expectations, parents, you gotta stick to it. Stick to it. Hold your ground. My mama used to let me sit at the table for 4 hours, okay? She'd be like, oh, bedtime? You the one who gotta go to school tomorrow. So you're gonna sit at that table until you eat this nasty green meatloaf that you had to put ketchup, mustard, honey, chocolate, cinnamon, and whatever else on. You're gonna eat it. And I know most of you know your parents did the same thing, right? Your kids gonna be fine. Nothing's gonna happen to them. They'll be all right. Stick to your grounds, okay? So remember, step number 1, don't mix textures. Step number 2, pick the textures. Step number 3, take notes. And step number 4 is once we got what textures your kid likes and doesn't like, pick 2 a meal. Any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will try to respond to them, okay? And always remember, may the tips be with you.